What exactly has Job Mokgoro done wrong?
I think it has been a problem between him and which is the interim provincial committee, right from the start. We must remember that Northwest Province is under administration as a province, and the Premier has very little leeway in the issues that he can do in the province. The province has got an administrator that must approve most of the key decisions, especially regarding money. And I think it is about things that he wouldn't do according to the IPC. Now, we must also remember the composition of the IPC is a very complicated body. It's an interim body, and it was designed to bring about some form of cooperation between the factions in this province. But it's in that design, in putting elements of both factions into the IPC, made it a very difficult institution to manage.
So what can you tell us about Bushy Maape? Does he have the leadership qualities, if that's all it's going to take, to unite the ANC in the Northwest and actually heal politics in the Northwest, which, as you so rightly say, from 2018 has been all over the place, really?
Well, Bushy Maape has got what is needed for a premier. He's got a lot of experience in government. He has the academic qualifications, which is now becoming a very important element. But whether he can unite and whether he can bridge the gap between a very strong and activist Mahumapelo faction, and you've seen in the footage what they're doing, whether he can do that is to be seen. And you must remember that these factions are not only active at the provincial level, they're also active at the local government level, and we've got 22 local governments, each one weaker than the other.
I want to ask you about the role of Supra Mahumapelo, who, of course, preceded Job Mokgoro as Premier. We know that Job Mokgoro and Mahumapelo are allies. We also know that after Mahumapelo was ousted in 2018, there were all those protests in the Northwest, that he has since been suspended by the IPC. That happened earlier this year. He was accused of sowing division. But I remember talking to you about that because he said, well, I don't have to listen to the IPC. I'm going to fight this all the way. So how much power does Supra Mahumapelo still have in the province? And do you think that defiance that we've seen with Supra Mahumapelo could be echoed by Job Mokgoro? Might he be similarly defiant about being ousted?
Well, as we speak, Job Mokgoro has not yet resigned. He must first resign as a member of the provincial legislature to make room for Bushy Maape's appointment so as to become the Premier. But I'm not so sure that Job Mokgoro can be seen as an ally of Supra Mahumapelo. You know, in a province where the factions are moving targets, it's not always a fixed case that somebody is in a specific group forever. There has been movement between the factions, and although there's a lot of rumors that he's associated with Mahumapelo, I do not think that he showed that in his premiership. What I saw in the 2-3 years he tried to manage the province is an action against looting, an action against all kinds of corruption. That is what I've seen, and I have never seen him acting in a way that I would call him an ally of Supra Mahumapelo. But not resigning at the moment as we speak. I think it will eventually happen, but I have the impression that they're negotiating behind the scenes about an exit of some kind to make things easier.
So the province has been run by the interim provincial committee since 2018. We are potentially heading for local government elections in October. It really is pretty much up in the air around whether the election actually is going to be postponed. Yesterday we were looking at what's happening in Mangaung, ANC divisions there, and hopes that the new mayor is going to bring the party together. Already serious questions on that. How important is it, do you think, for the ANC to have that election postponed? Do you think they need more time to get their house in order?
Yeah, I think they would love more time to do a little bit more mobilization and street work and this and that and the other. But I'm also of the opinion that the Constitution is fairly fixed on the term of local government, and I think the Constitutional Court, in my view, limited in what it can do to change that. But both in the Free State, the Northwest Province, Mpumalanga and Limpopo, the issues of service delivery, the issues of corruption and everything that goes wrong. We must remember state capture was a national issue and a national event, but similar issues also took place at the lower level, and that is still ongoing, and that is a threat, and people realize that on a day-to-day basis. They feel that when they don't have water, they feel that when they don't have services, and that is the big challenge to the ANC.
If the local elections do go ahead in October, what shape is the ANC in the province in to successfully canvass support? And does it matter? Because we have seen, even in areas where there is very little service delivery, the ANC returns.
Yeah, the ANC's brand is a very strong brand, and I think the ANC can feel confident that they will still have a majority. What that majority is going to be, the level, is it above 50%, is it below 60%, that's debatable. But the image that they've got, and like I
Well, unfortunately, we just lost the line to Theo Venter there, but very interesting analysis. Political analyst Theo Venter from the Northwest University's Business School talking to us today about the news that Job Mokgoro is out, it seems, from the Northwest, and Bushy Maape is coming in, and what that might mean for unity in the province.